Welcome back to an all-new episode of
We Everywhere, baby.
I am one of your hosts, Nadia Mohamedpour Moham Nastia. What else? Nadia. Nayance. Naughtia. Up in the house. And joining me, as always, is...
What's up, everybody? This is today the co-host with my host.
You're
It's
the
funny
Mo
because
host.
we're essentially both hosts.
Yeah, but I'm the Mo host.
But you are the Mo host. What's up? It's a marvelous. Saying hi to everybody out here. Thanks so much for joining us on another episode. We got some stuff to talk about, but first off, how was your week?
It was a bit of a blur, really, now that I think about it. When we were like, all right, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, what even happened? I know that we ate some things.
Right.
That was the highlight of my whole week.
Yeah, getting to eat.
Getting to eat. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of was, it was just a regular old week, just filled with work, getting my groove back on with working out again.
Right.
Just nothing great, just running errands. Same old, same old. Wah, wah.
Except that somebody stole your license plate.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What do you mean nothing happened to you?
What do you
were the
mean?
victim. You were the victim of a crime.
I mean, I wasn't really tripping because they were my paper plates.
Right.
They were my I mean, I was low-key kind of tripping because I was like, wait, if they steal my... it was the paper temporary plates because, obviously I got a new car in July. And I, hadn't... Well... He's like, go
Okay,
ahead, lay it on me.
Say what you gotta say.
Say what you gotta say. Your face. You were ready for it. Anyways, we hadn't changed the plates to the permanent ones once I got them. I just kept driving around with the paper ones for a month. And so I don't know. I don't even know where it happened, when it happened. I just walked around my car one day and I was like, what the hell? They took the whole thing, the whole plate holder and the paper plates, the screws and all. Just the holes were there.
And that's honestly the one thing that kind of worries me about it. Because here's my thoughts on it.
That's
and we don't know anything, right?
Yeah.
Is that if they take your paper plates, but you've already been issued actual metal plates, then I mean, it's not like
they're not valid.
They're not, but is it still tied to your car? Is it still tied to this address?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? And that's the part that's kind of worrisome, only because if they would have just ripped it, then you're like, oh, just some asshole walked by and ripped my plate.
No.
But if they took everything, including the screws,
they're reusing it.
To me, that means they're going to put that shit on something and do something they're not supposed to do.
So keep your eye out for a paper plate chilling around there.
Yeah.
Let me know if you see it. But yeah, I thought the same thing. That's what I was worried about too. I was like, what if they commit a crime with my paper plates?
So what'd you do about it?
So I put my plates on. I don't know. Am I supposed to report this or something?
I don't know. We should ask the audience to DM us quick before the SWAT team shows up at our house.
Right.
And we have to pay for the intrusion.
Ugh, please no God. That's scary as fuck.
Yeah, but that's just the shitty thing to come out. And you'd be like, what?
Yeah. So there was that. What else? I don't know. We watched some things. I know, such a motivating episode for you guys.
No, well, it's really funny. My week was kind of funny because.
Oh yes, how was your week?
As we, you fucking care apparently.
My week was whatever, so we can keep it moving. What an Aries.
You're like, oh, by the way, Omar, did you have any experiences when we weren't in the house together?
Yeah. I just assume your week is always the same because you just go to work, you do your job, you come home.
Yeah. That's pretty much what my life has been reduced to.
Yeah. Lives for the weekend.
No, but it's well, first off, here's the thing that really trips me out about work is that obviously I work in a building that has multiple companies there. So there's that shared, well, I mean, that's true, right? Maybe I should, that's the Nick Lachey in me coming out. So, obviously. But well, anyway, the point is that there are shared bathrooms in the building, right? And ever since COVID, and now pretty much all the companies are back, even if it's on like limited days or whatever. We're still all there at some point. So now, if you have to go to the bathroom, you have a door tag, like a "Do Not Disturb," that you have to take with you.
Oh, so nobody goes.
So nobody else comes in and violates your space or whatever.
Okay.
Great idea.
Is it a single?
Well, I mean,
like, obviously
you can't put it on the stall.
Yeah,
like, that would be pointless.
Yeah, so it's like
I'm tired of people walking in on me while I'm taking a shit. If only there was a door tag that would let them know not to walk in on me.
If only. That's what a fear. One of my biggest fears.
You know what's like a scary thing is when you're in the stall. Sure, the fear is that somebody will walk in. But it's the eyeball.
Through the crack.
You know what I'm talking about?
I sure do.
That fucking Jurassic Park eyeball.
The eyeball.
You're like, why are you looking in here? The door is closed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Why do people
Why do you look through the slit?
That making eye contact with that eyeball while you're like on the toilet is the worst. It's like, why is this shit getting so intimate all of a sudden?
We just made eye contact.
Yeah, I don't know you.
Through 1 inch, less than an inch, millimeters of space. While my bare ass is out.
It's like, yo.
And I'm mid-push looking deep into your eye.
When are you... When else are you most like vulnerable?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'll tell you, when you get your vagina waxed, man,
touche.
Ding ding.
Or should I say?
Or the gyno.
Or should I say couche? You got me there, Moham.
Those are two other very vulnerable times in your life.
Yeah, but so if somebody walks in on that, but what if like you're at the gyno or something and you look over and there's an eyeball looking at you through like the partition.
Also, and also those events, getting waxed and going to the gyno, you're mentally prepared. You know it's going to happen. You know they're going to be looking down there. You know it's going to happen. But when you're just like chilling there doing, like shitting is like shameful. You're just like, oh, I'm shitting.
Yeah, that's why
I'm ashamed.
The dogs ever look at you while they're shitting?
Yeah, it's the most hilarious thing to me.
So ashamed.
Yeah, they're ashamed, and
I'm sorry that I'm doing this in front of you.
And I stare at them too. I make it more awkward. I'm like, oh yeah?
You're asserting your dominance.
Like, look at you.
That's right. I can look at you no matter what you're doing.
I actually seeing your butthole perk out.
Oh, stop.
Okay, we'll delete that part.
Nah. We're leaving the whole log in.
That wasn't the word I wanted to use, but it just came. I was like, perk. No, it's maybe pout. It's pouting. What else?
Oh my God, I want to continue this.
This took a turn.
Well, back to my protruding. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's the real term.
But okay. But all of this to go back to the bathroom pass. So yeah, essentially you have the run of the bathroom to yourself if you put that door.
Okay.
That whatever. Now I can't even think about what it is. The tag, the hang tag.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's all well and good. And most people are using it. I know I've seen some people who don't give a fuck, and I've seen people come in even though the tag is on there.
Well, I mean, if you have to go, you gotta go. Like,
so my kind of big issue is that the tag is at the receptionist desk. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you got to go all the way to the receptionist.
Well, it's the way out.
Okay.
Either way. So you have to pass her.
Yeah.
Pick up the
Hey,
tag.
can I get the shit tag?
Yeah. Like,
I'm going to go drop a deuce, and I need to let everyone know I'm doing this in this room.
But it's not
alert.
It's not really that for me.
Okay.
What's really fucking with me is that I now have to put it back. So she has a complete timeline of how long it took me to shit or something because she knows, he's finally bringing that back. Like, you know,
like, big project, huh?
That shit's so awkward to me. Like,
did you have a large dinner?
She's like, you've been gone for quite a while. I'm like, hey, shut up.
That's true. That's true. That is very true.
So it's just like, forget it. I'm just never going to go at work ever again.
You don't go at work?
No, of course I do.
Oh, okay. You know, my dad would like never use the bathroom at work. He was just not about it.
Where did he work for Amazon or what? Bezos is like,
oh my God. You're not shitting on my time.
Stay on the goddamn floor. I'm trying to go to space.
And use my Amazon Basics toilet paper to wipe your ass.
Do you think that entire space shuttle is just filled with like Amazon Basic shit?
Probably.
William Shatner's up there like, hey, my iPhone won't charge with your shitty cable.
Yeah, those.
Oh, speaking of William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Went to space.
Oh.
Jeff Bezos like,
oh, that's right. For some reason, I thought you said he died. I was like, what?
No. Well, I don't know. Are they back yet?
I don't know. He went to space?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Even as like and I, you know, I'm really into geek shit, but like, I've never really fucked with Star Trek like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate on it, and like Next Generation was great, but
it just wasn't your thing.
To me, it's just cool.
We know I wasn't watching that
like,
shit.
You know?
Yeah, but
this
it's cool.
guy was the space captain for
totally
X amount of years, and now he finally gets to go.
Yeah.
At like 90 years old.
Hell yeah.
They asked him at this Comic-Con, and he's like, I'm terrified.
He's like, I actually don't want to do this. They're forcing me.
My publicist.
I'm 90 years old.
My publicist said I could squeeze out a couple more endorsements if I just fucking go to space.
Like, the money that he gets, like, is going to last him, what, a year? Yeah. If that. We'll see. We'll see how long.
Yeah.
How long he lasts.
Depending on how
this
fast.
Is sad. We're taking. Shall we take bets? 93. Anyone 93?
I'm not condemning the man to death. I was just saying that he's like, yo, I'm terrified.
I know, poor thing. Truly, his last voyage.
Oh, Jesus. I hope he's not wearing a red shirt.
They make him wear the whole outfit and everything. He's like, this is truly demeaning.
He's like, this doesn't even fit.
Poor William.
It was like, I was in my 30s.
So are they back yet?
You know what? I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
I had heard that they got delayed, but then they were telling me like, oh, yeah. Like, he totally went.
Delayed? Like, what do you mean they got delayed?
Like, I thought it was...
They postponed it?
Yeah,
Ooh.
like that they had postponed it, but...
You know... if my trip gets postponed, I don't know if I'm going to get on that flight. Look what happened to the Challenger. The Challenger was like doing everything it possibly could to be like, do not.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Oh, I thought you were going to say that it happened without it. No, I'm sorry. I'm following you. Yes. Yes. Everything went wrong on that, and nobody.
Everything went wrong. The weather, everything was just like like you should not board this vessel.
Yeah, for real.
And they did. That shit was crazy. Take the warning, guys. Read the flags. And that's just general life advice.
No.
Don't board the vessel. What else?
The only other thing that happened to me was that I got gas, and it
you got
remains
gas
fucking expensive into my truck, not like me.
I got gas.
I went and no, here's the thing. I go and I get gas. And you know how it's different at every gas station that you go. This one was $5 for a regular. So I was like, shit, all right. And I'm like, yeah, I'll add a car wash.
That's crazy.
So not even filling up my tank, it was crazy expensive. And then I go to get my ticket for the car wash because, it comes out on the receipt. And the fucking receipt breaks, it cuts in half.
So you don't get the code?
So I don't get the code. Like I'm like, what?
You can go inside and tell them.
Right. So I was like, man, what? And I looked at the top of the receipt that had cut out and it had like an invoice number on it or something. And I was like, if anything, they could just be like, yo, yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
Which is what ended up happening, but it took forever.
I hate that shit.
That's
kind of why I haven't gotten a car wash is every time I try to go in line, it's like the line is crazy and it doesn't move and it's in the street because I go to the one by my gym. So it's not like I'm in a safe place. Like I'm just chilling in the street. Like I'm trying to get in and out or something. At least that's worth it. Those in and out lines go around the block. Man, speaking of that, that's on my cravings list. Guys, I have something like important coming up in a couple weeks where I'll be doing a photo shoot and I'll tell you guys more details later. I mean, I don't know why I'm being secretive about it, but like
whatever. That's pull the taffy.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say maybe.
Just be like,
pull the taffy. Make them want some more. Are you salivating? But yeah, so I'm doing a photo shoot and won't be wearing a lot of clothing and I'm starving.
That's right. Nadia's doing porn.
Starving. Don't tell anyone, guys. Yeah. So In-N-Out is on my after photo shoot list of things to eat. It may change.
I mean, you've been eating good. That's the thing. At work this week, there was like catered lunches, but it was all catered by salad companies.
Oh, that's good.
So even
you didn't even have a choice.
I had no choice. Yeah. I mean, I could have not eaten, but
I've been making some really good healthy meals. Honestly,
that's right. We've been eating healthy.
But like getting kind of creative, and I mean, it's not super. If you look at it, you're like, because there's the basics, but like flavor profiles, like throwing a splash of ponzu on there, like making it fancy. But yeah, so that's what's happening with me, and I'm really hungry. Although I've been working out a lot. Although this past weekend I decided to break that because I had to make an exception for the what was it even called? I keep messing it up. Family Style Food Fest. Is that what it's called?
Family Style Food Fest.
Right. Okay. So that happened this past Sunday. I'd never heard of it. Had you heard of it?
You know what? No, I knew nothing about it.
It was on the Paramount lot.
Well, was it? Is that what it was?
That's what he said. That's what
I don't know. But if anyone's from LA, it was behind the Grove.
Yeah.
So I saw a big CBS building, and I want to say that they call that area like Television City or something like that. But yeah, it definitely was like on
the lot,
on like a back lot of some kind. And it was awesome.
Yeah, and so apparently we got hooked up with tickets from Miguel. Thank you, cousin Miguel.
Yeah, for real.
For hooking it up. And yeah, so he invited us. Unfortunately, we didn't get a hold of the tickets till a little bit too late. We kind of didn't really know if we were going to go or whatever.
Yeah, things were up in the air.
They were up in the air. We got the tickets kind of late, but we were like, screw it. Let's just make it anyway, because it was going to like 8 p.m. So we caught the last, I would say, hour of the whole thing. So
yeah, it was such a struggle to get out of just Inglewood alone. Because I believe the Chargers had played.
Yes.
So everybody was exiting the stadium when we had finally got the tickets and were trying to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us forever to just drive to the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it's going to be a pain.
Yeah.
For the rest
That's
of
why we
our
can't.
lives.
Well, no, because we just won't go anywhere on Sundays. or we time it right. We got to know what time the game lets out so that we don't.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah.
Which, by the way, parking is crazy for the stadium. I don't know if you guys heard. Parking is like $100.
Mm-hmm.
That's in addition to the ticket, which is already a lot of money also. It's just ridiculous.
That was crazy.
So lucky for us, we got a spot. And so if any of our homies ever come down to the Forum to see a game, like we
$50.
That's it?
You
we
know.
charge less. They're charging 100 over there.
Whoa, but they're like right at the stadium.
Yeah, but it sells out quick.
Well, okay. I mean, we'll work on that price structure.
I would say like 75.
Come to our
you
house
let
and
us
mention,
know.
Come to our house and mention we everywhere, baby, for 20% off of parking at my house.
If you listen to our podcast, we'll give you a discount. But don't tell your friends. This is private event only. Private invites.
We're gonna start a Patreon just for this.
Mark and Nadia and Omar's spots.
Yeah, that's straight up.
We'll put a "We Everywhere Baby" sign over our
that's
spot.
a 4-star membership. If one of some of our listeners have some like a partner that's really into sports.
That's hilarious.
You're like, man, I didn't think that this $1,000 a month Patreon was gonna make it something ridiculous. Be like, but stadium parking whenever you want,
several blocks away, but you could still walk.
You want to get there or not?
Yeah. So wow.
But all that to say that it took us forever to get there. So by the time we got to this family style food fest, it was like 6:30.
Yeah,
almost 6:45.
Yeah.
So we rushed in there.
Yeah.
With our VIP.
Yeah, we have VIP
passes,
which did nothing for us in the last hour.
We go straight to the VIP section. Shit is empty.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on.
Turns out VIP means nothing in the last hour. Nothing. We're like, what do these do? What do these do for us? What could we do with these?
Did you see the pass?
They're like, this shit's over, man. See if we could get some scraps of beef from the shawarma.
They're like, this started at 3:00, bro. They're like, shit.
Well, because what we were told, two things I was told. One thing was that tickets were like $250 to go to this event. I didn't look that up or fact check that.
VIP. Like,
okay, VIP
what
area.
We had cost $250.
Gotcha. And basically the VIP area was just a closed off separate area, which had more seating, and it had little stands around that seating area, which apparently during the day they were giving out free food.
Right.
So that's kind of where your money and drinks too.
Yeah, no, I mean if everything would have gone off as like clockwork, we would have been there.
Yeah.
Much earlier.
Of course.
But shout out to Liquid Death. If you guys have ever seen those cans of water, it's called Liquid Death. They were still handing those out. So at least I wasn't going to be thirsty.
How do you feel about that though?
How do I feel about Liquid Death?
No, like water in a can. I'm not a fan.
Okay. I will say this. I prefer, if I'm going to have water in a can, sparkling water. Right.
The flat is weird in a can.
Yeah. Still water from a can is kind of like, I don't really like still water from that box.
Oh, you know I don't mind that.
Like it's not that it doesn't have good taste or anything. Like
yeah, I like the box water.
Drinking it out of a box feels like.
Yeah, but it's so much better for the environment.
Well, I mean, are we talking how we prefer to drink water, or like what we're gonna do to lower our carbon footprint? Like, I mean, that's the case.
You better make yourself like it.
No, I'm just saying, it just feels like, oh, I had this carton of milk left over and I washed it out and put water in it.
Yeah.
So mentally, it like fucks.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean? But okay. That Liquid Death sparkling water is
the sparkling one. Yeah, I don't mind that. But the whole thing with the canned water is that obviously once you open it, that's it. You got. I mean, I guess that's good. That forces people to drink water that wouldn't normally.
I mean, you don't like the fact that you can't.
I can't reseal it. I can't close it back up. I can't carry. Like, it's annoying. It's just this open big can of water, and I don't know.
You know, I think I've seen one of those as seen on TV
with a lid to cover it.
The lid. You just walk around with your lid, put it on your can.
That is some serious shit right
What? Your problem is solved.
No. This is what you guys need to do. You need to get a reusable bottle and refill that water and stop buying plastic bottles. You hear me?
Yeah. I carry my little steel bottle everywhere.
We have our steel thermos bottles, and we bought one of those Britas that are extra large, and it's kind of cool because they're really thin and long. So it's like the length of your fridge, but very small width. Doesn't take up a lot of space.
Right.
And then it's got the little nozzle, and you just put the filter in there, and you just refill it with the tap water, and it filters it. And I have no problem with it. It tastes fine. It's always cold in there. Like, it's easy to refill. It's just, I don't know. I'm glad. I'm happy with our water situation. Guys, not sponsored by Brita. Go get it.
Not sponsored by the largest natural resource.
Right.
Water.
Well, that took a tangent. The food. Going back to the festival and the food.
Yeah.
So obviously we got there a little bit later. A lot of the places were already done. They were sold out. They had John and Vinny's, which I always wanted to try, which is a newer Italian spot. I think they're from New York, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Originally.
I know that they're opening one up in Inglewood, not too far.
Stop, really? Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
it's always
price
packed.
Point is
high.
mad high.
It's LA. It's LA pricing.
Yeah.
Plus, it's kind of
high
like
for their location on Fairfax or whatever.
It's kind of like gourmet pizzas.
I guess.
I know. I feel you. I hear it's really good.
But I haven't had it, so I can't say that it's worth it or not.
Yeah.
And
people were loading up on those pizzas.
Yeah. Everywhere. And like I said, they were sold out, but were like delivering pizzas like crazy.
Yeah.
Or handing them out, I should say.
Pickup orders.
So, they're popping, and I'm sure it's for a good reason.
Yeah. And so what we ended up trying, we went on a little food sampling spree, but we tried Omar, Mark, and Nick all got Truth Barbecue, which is based out of Houston, Texas. And I think you went and talked to the guy. Was he the owner or who?
I have no idea. All I know is that when we realized that, there was nothing back there, we're like, well, we came here to eat and like try these places out. So, let's what is it? Give them some money. Let's go and taste as much as we can. And unfortunately, we got to that sold out situation. But there was that place, Truth Barbecue. It was like one of the stalls right at the end. And they had the smoker outside and everything. And I walked up to the guy, and before I even said anything, he was like, I'm just letting you know I'm pretty much sold out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you got? And he was like, I've got brisket and some sauce and buns. And I was like, I'll take 3 of those.
Mm-hmm. Like, so was that not normally how they make the sandwich?
I'm sure there was extra shit on the sandwich. Because he was like, I don't have any vegetables. I don't have any...
Maybe he put a coleslaw on it or something.
Maybe. But I was like, yo, you got meat and you got sauce and you got a bun. Like,
he should have give you a discount.
Well, that's the thing. So
that shit was expensive.
So I tell the guy 3 of those. He's like, cool. And he tells the guy, yo, 3 of these sandwiches.
He's like, $60.
Yeah, the guy's like basically like, yeah, $60, $58 or some shit like that. I'm like, damn, these are like $18 sandwiches.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
with nothing.
So does this mean that it was a more expensive sandwich and you discounted it for me, or did you just charge me regular price?
I think they charged you
for
regular.
A sandwich, and I just didn't get all the shit on it.
Yeah, I think that's
what I mean.
To you.
So I was kind of like, well, whatever. Like,
you didn't negotiate.
I'm not. I'm here to eat and try some new shit. So let's do it. So we go to the back, and honestly, it was one of the best brisket, like briskets, period, that I have ever had. It was delicious, phenomenal.
Yeah, it really was. And that mustard sauce that he put on it. Yeah. Was it a mustard?
It tasted like a mustard sauce,
almost like a barbecue and mustard or something. I don't know.
And researcher Mark got quick to when he was making them. He's like, "Yo, can I get extra sauce on one of them?" And I was like, 2 of them. He's like, "Extra sauce." He's like, "Yo, I'll give you all the sauce that I got left or whatever."
Loaded him up.
And it was totally worth it.
Man.
And that's when I came back and talked to him. I was like, I was like, hey, man. And he was like, yeah, what's up? Like, he looked at me like, everything okay? I was like, just want to tell you that shit was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm glad I got this shit. You know what I mean? And I said, where are you guys? So that, you know what I mean? We can go have a proper sit down. He's like, oh, we're from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we're just here for this festival.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, well, I guess I'll never eat at your shit again because when am I going to be in Houston next?
They came all the way.
But if you are in the Houston area and
we actually have a good fan base, a decent fan base in Houston.
You want to look up a barbecue spot? I mean, Truth Barbecue was amazing. Now, I don't know if that's because we already know about from that. Texas. You know what I'm saying? And for all I know, every brisket in Texas might be like a work of art. But man, that shit was fire. So props to them.
Mm-hmm, that shit was so good. And then I ended up getting the booth next to you, which was Avi Q, which was a shawarma spot. Mm-hmm. And because I was like, well, I'd rather have, I'm not obviously eating well. I'm eating whatever I want, but like at least like I can get, and the pita was small. It was really cute how they did it. They didn't take a big pita and cut it in half. They had these mini pitas that they just cut the top off a little bit and stuffed them. So it was basically almost the whole pita stuffed with meat and sauce.
Yeah.
And it was like a little bit smaller. I mean, the price was still a little hefty for that little pita, but
was it good?
It was delicious.
Hells yeah.
Man, the meat was excellent, seasoned perfectly. It wasn't dry. And then they had this kind of like, I want to say it was like maybe a curry based type of sauce or maybe tahini, but it wasn't as, I'm not a super big fan of tahini. I feel like it comes off a bit bitter sometimes.
Okay.
But anyways, it was amazing. We both made really good choices. So whatever was left, at least, you know, it was totally worth it to try out those two spots. And then I also grabbed this place called, how do you say that? OUI?
Yeah.
We, and I guess they're based off of Melrose, so they are local. Mm-hmm. And they were selling, and I don't know if they have other things as well, but what they had that day was birthday cake donuts.
Man.
Those were very, very sweet, I will say.
Yeah, I'm glad we just got one.
Yeah, it was one, and we all kind of split it. Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah.
It was enough, but it was really, really good. Almost had like the consistency of like a buttermilk donut kind of thing, but inside was like birthday cake flavor, like funfetti. It was so bomb. So yeah, so there was that, and then of course we ended it. We ended it with a lobster roll.
Well, yeah, we had already eaten. We were like, okay, cool.
We're like, let's try one more thing.
Yeah, we got what we good, but we're like, this is a festival.
Yeah,
like
we came here to eat.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So let's have one more thing because we got to try something else. And there was a place called Broad Street Oyster Company.
Yeah.
And apparently they're based out of Malibu.
Yeah.
But they were selling lobster rolls.
Yeah.
Man.
I haven't had a lobster roll in a minute.
Good. See, it's tough for me because I don't think that lobster is the king of like food. Like how some people think like, oh my God, lobster.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't have a strong flavor.
I just don't. I don't really enjoy eating it. Like,
really?
Yeah. It's never. I've always had it well done. Like not temperature wise. I mean like cooked well.
Yes.
And like my family didn't go to Red Lobster, so I wasn't never getting like what you would consider like a basic ass lobster.
Yeah.
Like, but every time I'm just kind of like,
So in the seafood realm, what's your preference? Crab, shrimp?
Are we talking like
crab,
crustaceans, like shellfish?
Yeah. Not fish.
Okay. If we're talking shellfish, it probably goes like a shrimp or a prawn.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Then followed by mussels. And then anything else after that.
You like oysters, huh?
I do like oysters. It's taken me a long time, but I do like oysters.
I don't really like oysters. They're like, it's, yeah. That consistency is a bit much for me. I'm just like, why do you guys like to eat flavored snots? Like, you're just swallowing snot floating in seawater. It's so gross. So if they cook it, like I'll do like a cooked oyster. I'll totally do that. Or the times that I have tried it, my first oyster I ever tried was at your company Christmas party with Dana. Dana's listening.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dana, I had my first oyster with you, girl. And it was good because they had those little squeezy sauce things, like
the mignonette, or
is that what they call it? Is.
I think
How do you know all these little? Oh yes, the mignonette.
I watch a lot of Food Network.
They're like, yes, served with a mignonette of tomato bisque.
It's a sauce that always comes with oysters.
But I'm just saying, it come in that little squeezy.
But that was like a squeeze.
Yeah,
like,
shit was
like
cool.
A fancy new like oyster preparation.
Yes, and so whatever sauce that they put on that was so delicious. So you squeeze it in there, and that's mostly what you were tasting.
Right.
So that was really good. But other than that, I don't really reach for.
Whenever I go out to dinner with anyone that likes oysters, I'm always like, yeah, I'm down. Like if somebody says oysters,
that always happens at the table.
Absolutely.
By the way, it's always like if there's oysters on the menu, everyone looks around. They're like, oysters. I'm down. Are you down? Because nobody just orders their own oysters.
No, it's always like
you need somebody to share it with.
I mean, there's some people that I have a friend named Trevor who I went to dinner with him and some of his friends once. There was like 5 of us, and they put down oysters like you read about, like crazy. They're the ones that kind of taught me really how to appreciate it, or not appreciate it, but mostly dress it up. So because I know people that love oysters with nothing on them.
Gross.
Like that, I can't. I'm not there yet.
No. You're trying to get there.
But the mignonette is like it's like the shallots in a vinegar with pepper.
Oh, okay.
You put that kind of on top, and then sometimes maybe like a little chili sauce. Like I think is what was in that dropper that we had.
So good.
That for me is dope.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Got it. Well,
I like crab.
Mm-hmm.
I really like king crab, but I like it to be hot.
And
I feel like I'm either not good enough to get through it all before it all cools down.
Oh yeah.
Or do you know what I mean? It's not even the work. Like I don't mind doing the work. Can we add
boiling crab to my list of after shoot meals?
Yes.
You just made me really want boiling crab.
Once Nadia and I and her cousin
is the story
Ash,
gonna read well?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. I already started it. So we were so high, and I have this little like a beat maker on my phone, and we made a boiling crab. Not even a song, just the hook.
Boiling crab. So no, this is just not right. You need the music.
I didn't need you to sing
we
it.
need the music.
I wish I still had it. I don't remember, but that's how much we like boiling crab.
But anyways, back to the lobster roll. I love a good lobster roll. I am a fan of lobster. My only complaint about this lobster roll was I felt like they almost drenched or dredged, both either.
Drenched.
Yeah. Or dredged. No?
No.
We always have these like grammar like checks. I always have these grammar checks, I should say. Anyways,
it's drenched.
So what is it? Can't you like dredge something in something though? Like you dredge chicken in flour?
Yeah, I guess, but the
let's just not even go down this road. We don't need to do this.
Oh my!
Let's not.
Goodness.
Going back to it, they drenched this lobster roll.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry.
What?
Look, it's just funny because to dredge something, means to like pull it out of the water. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you like a shipwreck that you're raising out, or like treasure hunters or some shit like that. That's what dredging means. I have used it. You're saying like, where they
dredge the chicken in the flour batter or whatever.
Yeah, but they're not doing that with the lobster roll. They just poured a bunch of fucking butter on it.
They're not dredging it. Well, I don't know. The way that lobster roll was, it looked like they dredged that shit. Okay? Because it was soaking wet in butter.
They pulled it out of a sea of butter.
They really did. Crane. They just dropped it in the butter bowl and pulled it out. It was just like the whole bread was like soaking wet.
You've convinced me. They dredged it.
See, guys, you're learning new things. We'd like to teach you here. But yeah. Is Penny?
What?
I smell. Poor Penny. Penny's really sick right now. I don't know what's happening. Her tummy is not well. And she keeps having diarrhea. TMI. No, but really, I got to be on the alert. Couch. Okay, Penny off. Anyways. Yeah, it was a bit too buttery. Mm-hmm. Kind of was like, it was, I don't know what I was looking for, but I feel like it needed some other flavor. Like, I think I would rather have a spicy mayo accompany it or something with a little bit of butter on the lobster than to just pour a shit ton of melted butter on top of it. Yeah. It just kind of sogged it up. So that was my only complaint.
I would say there was a little too much butter on it, but
it was delicious.
But you can't. A lobster roll is one of those things that some people hold like real like sacred. You know what I mean? Like a cheesesteak or other. You know what I mean? Right. It's like a local thing to have pride in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure there's people on the East Coast, like particularly like out in Boston, New England, like that know what a real fucking lobster roll is like.
They're like, you call this a lobster? No. Retract. It wasn't going where I wanted to go. I'm gonna stop it right there. And before we end the show,
we got time.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we got time. Shit.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm gonna stop it right there. Okay. We also didn't talk about Kim hosting SNL.
So let's talk about it. Did any of you guys see Kim Kardashian? I'm waiting for a response. Apparently not. I will say this: as far as ratings go, it didn't really give SNL the bump that you would have think it did.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. It didn't really work out as far as like, we murdered it in the ratings because we got Kim Kardashian.
Well, I don't know. I'm just assuming. I feel like the rating system is not as accurate as it is anymore, as it can be anymore, because so many people do streaming services. Nobody really does live cable TV anymore. So a lot of people have canceled that. So now you're just getting YouTube streams. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure they counted that too, but like live tuning in Saturday night to the channel, I'm sure those ratings have gone down, or views, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how the metrics are established, but from what I saw or, read on, like news websites, like entertainment news websites, it wasn't gangbusters. But I'm going to say this. I think that the writing on it was really, really good.
Really good. But do you know why?
No, why?
So Kim, she called up on several comedians to help her with the writing of her intro.
Like the monologue?
The monologue, yeah. She hit up Amy Schumer, Ellen DeGeneres, Dave Chappelle. I can't remember who else. There was like a handful of comedians.
Just, her buddies.
The crew, the usual crew. Amy was in one of the skits.
Yeah.
Chris Rock was in one of the skits. I don't know if he helped her too. He might have. But they did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it was kind of, it's like, I don't really know exactly how to feel about it. Because here's the thing. The intro monologue was more like a roast session.
Yeah.
Right? Like stuff that people would say to her or to her family, while roasting her. So that, at least it was entertaining. Like,
it was
the jokes
hilarious.
were cool.
Yeah.
She did okay delivering. But it's kind of one of those things, it's like, I don't know, that if you are the butt of the joke, sometimes you get in on the joke, but it's like, You can't get in on this joke. Like, does that make sense?
No.
Like,
you can't get in on this joke. What do you mean? How? Why?
It's
like she can't.
Like, you can't go in there and like poke fun at yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? Because you're the reason that all of this certain stuff exists. Like, I don't know.
As far as
I'm
what?
not, like, I'm sorry. I'm really not explaining.
He's hitting a wall. Okay, well, let's have you think about that. I will say that they probably didn't get as many people, as many listeners. This isn't a podcast. Viewers, also because of that reason, because people were probably like, Kim, like, really? Because let's be real, like, she's not an actress. I mean, she's done a few things, but like, no offense, she can't really act. That's not really one of her things that she's good at. So people were probably just really turned off by that, I would imagine. I kind of was like, really? Like, this is not your lane. Like, please don't mess this up. But again, she did it right by hiring the right people. She probably knew. SNL obviously did ask her. So they say, who knows? Kris Jenner was like up in their emails. But so they say that they reached out. They wanted Kim. And, you know, she hired the right people to write her right stuff. And to me, she did a better job than I thought she would have, in my opinion. I was expecting to be a lot more cringier and awkward and just kind of like dry. And she did her best, I think, to present it. So, and the skits were great. I like the one with the over 30 at the club had me dying.
Yeah,
that one was so good.
Also, the one where Aidy Bryant.
Yes, I was just gonna say that one
when they switched bodies.
Oh my god, that is so hilarious! What are you wearing? Clothes? God, that shit was so funny.
Yeah, I mean, doing SNL is tough because they really like mount it in a week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and if you're not a person that's used to memorizing lines, you have to read it all from the cue cards. I mean, the majority of the cast is doing that. It's a lot of stuff to try to keep in your head, especially because they'll like cut a skit or add a skit or whatever. So there's a lot of reading. And if you're not very good at it, it's super obvious.
Yeah.
But you give usually the star of or, you know, whoever's hosting, you kind of give them that leniency of like, it's not normally what they do, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was taking all that into effect, and the fact that her eyes were just dead, like there was like no emotional connection to any. And she's not doing Shakespeare and shit. You know what I mean? But still, it's just like
that's you always dead in the eyes.
Like, all right. But she did way better than her mom, and she did way better than her sister.
Yeah, she
did. Her mom damn near blew a whole sketch.
Like, the awkward pause.
Oof.
Yeah.
But you know, some of the jokes are good, and you know, like I said, it wasn't the worst SNL by far. I would say it's even better than Elon Musk.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, that one was not very good. But hopefully you guys saw it. Let us know what you think, or what you thought, I should say.
Yeah, the skits were great. She did better than I thought, and I think that most people were more impressed that saw it. There's a lot of really funny. There's this one page that I follow that recreates a lot of pop culture things. Now, of course, I can't remember it. Shit. Why does this always happen? I literally follow them all the time, and they make the most funniest. They recreate them and throw their own mix of stuff, music, whatever on top of it. I'm going to think of it. But anyways, they did a great job of remixing all of those skits and making them funny. But yeah, I thought it was good. We were laughing. So that's a good sign.
You know what? We are actually approaching, and we do want the end of the show, and we do want to talk about one more thing. But before we do that, I wanted to bring up that thing that I put in the notes about Adele.
Oh, okay.
So Adele was on the cover of Vogue. Right? Adele was also on the cover of British Vogue. But she's the first person to be on both covers simultaneously.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So big shout outs.
Hell yeah. And she
Adele.
looked amazing. Like, wow, what a killer shoot.
Yeah. So here's the thing though. So she did an interview, okay, and she was essentially expressing the fact that all the weight loss and all the stuff that she did, that she was still catching shit from people. And she kind of was like, look, I understand I'm the kind of the spokeswoman for a certain body type or for women that have this. And, for me to now go down to,
right. Like you betrayed us
100 pounds over 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Like something incredible. So she was just like really kind of bummed by it. And it was interesting. Like, I'll read you these quotes that I pulled that I just thought it was like a interesting article. She said, my body's been objectified my entire career. It's just now I understand. She goes, it's oh my God, it's not just now. And she goes, I understand why it's a shock. She goes, I understand why some women were especially hurt. Visually, I represented a lot of women, but I'm still the same person. And she goes, and the worst part of the whole thing was that the most brutal conversations were being had by other women about my body. Mm-hmm. So it's just like people in the comments and shit, like discussing her body and getting into arguments and stuff like that.
Isn't that crazy?
And she was just like, she literally says, she goes, I was very fucking disappointed with that. Mm-hmm. She goes, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a bummer, especially when, like you said, the Vogue shoot was like insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, she's still a person with feelings, and people just forget. They just, everyone cowers behind these comments and thinks that. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, I was talking with Tina, my client. She gets so much hate in her comments too all the time, and it's the Persian community is ruthless, man. They are one of the most judgmental groups on there. And they will just, you post a nice picture of yourself and they'll be like, oh, that's great. But like, are you a good mother? Or like, they'll say shit like that. And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I can't be beautiful and like fashion and do all these fun, cool things and take nice photos of me. Like that equates to me being a shitty person. Like, yeah, sure. There are some people that are shitty that only care about that stuff. But as far as I'm going off on a tangent, but as far as she's concerned, she's a therapist. She's a mother. She's got a lot of things going on. She's a great person. Like, it's just so stupid how these people come after you.
Well, and the thing with Adele is that she was talking about her weight loss journey or health journey, whatever you want to call it, that it had a lot to do with kind of her anxiety. And she basically said that, she said, I realized when I was working out, I didn't have any anxiety. It was never about losing weight. She just started feeling better, and she said, I thought if I can make my body physically strong and I can feel that and see that, then maybe one day I can make my emotions and my mind physically strong. So that was her reason, and as far as how she's feeling now.
That's an amazing motivation, by the way. It's a great way of going about it.
Yeah. And she says like right now, she says she feels amazing.
Yeah.
She says, I don't feel anxious or nervous or frazzled. It's quite the opposite. It's wild. And there's no second guessing. I'm a 33-year-old divorced mother of a son who's actually in charge. You know what I mean? So she still gets the laugh. The laugh. The laugh. 2 laughs.
I'm not mad at that. Are you going to get the laugh?
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean.
Super props to Adele. Not only can she fucking sing, but she's a pretty amazing person too.
Yeah, she did it for the right reasons. She didn't do it to conform to Hollywood standards or anything like that. So she's saying, that's how she's presenting it. And so that's the way to go, because this industry is ruthless. And one of the other things, just real quick drop, speaking of that, because that reminded me of Brittany Murphy.
Yeah, that's what I said we wanted to get to.
Right. She was one of the victims of that. She came out in Clueless, I think was her first role. Maybe.
I mean, that's
first
when everybody was like,
yeah. And, she was young and she wasn't like fat or anything, but she was fuller than what she ended up being. And they told her basically, you're not fuckable, you're huggable. And if you want to get leading roles, you're going to need to drop some weight. And like in the early 2000s, that's how it was.
They were like, look at Gwyneth.
Yeah. They compared.
We can almost see through her.
Exactly. It was the waif.
Do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Kate Moss, like all these people that they set the standard of beauty then. It was just waif-like bodies, no curves, no nothing. And that's fine if that's your regular body type. But these women that are purposely starving themselves to get these roles in Hollywood, that's not their body type, like Brittany Murphy. She decided to go that route. It ended up working for her as well, which is also another like slap in the face, because you're just like, well, how can I argue with this? It's working. I'm getting the roles.
Right. Absolutely.
So it just propels you deeper into this sick and twisted disease. And so she unfortunately, was succumbed to that, and she ended up developing anemia from it as well. And so anyways, long story short, we all know she passed away. We all know it was very mysterious, the events that happened of why she passed away. Nobody really understands. There's a lot of like hearsay. The coroner did say that she died from untreated pneumonia and anemia. It was like a mixture of untreated pneumonia, anemia, and over-the-counter prescription drugs. So,
what do you mean over-the-counter prescription drugs?
I mean, not prescription. Sorry. Over-the-counter medication. My bad.
Got you.
Yeah. It was just a bad mix of all of that, right? That's what the coroner says. But there's all these other things that people have come up with, as like saying that there was significant amounts of black molds in the house. So there's another theory saying that there was something wrong with the house. It was haunted.
And what house is this?
This is the house that she bought in 2003 or whatever for Britney Spears, actually. Britney Spears.
There you go.
When
Case fucking closed.
It's the bad spirits
that house
that travel.
is haunted.
She's from Louisiana. The voodoo followed her. No, so check this. So she bought this house from Britney. Britney and Justin lived in this house in the late 90s, early 2000s. And one day, Britney didn't really like living there. She just always felt like it was off. One day, Britney said that she encountered some sort of spiritual, like, she basically said that there was like two spirits like fighting like in front of her, something like that. And
she's like, the scariest part, they were both wearing shoes.
What?
I just feel like nothing would scare Britney more than shoes.
Oh my God.
She's always barefoot.
Shoes and a bra.
It was just a pair of shoes walking across the kitchen. It was the scariest shit I've ever seen. Y'all.
Your Britney impersonation is great.
I thought it was spot on.
But yeah, anyways, Britney basically says she has this ghostly encounter, gets freaked out, goes to some hotel, stays there, and literally never goes back and puts the house on sale. That's how freaked out she was. Damn. Never went back to the house.
That's crazy.
So she always complained of that. Sells it to Brittany Murphy. Brittany Murphy, in turn, also complains and says something's not right in this house. Never really liked the house. And they say that she always really hung out in the bathroom. Obviously, this is all hearsay. I'm just telling you. Which is where they found her dead. So I read something that said that Brittany foresaw... Okay, mind you, Brittany's husband, Simon, also passed away 5 months after Britney's death as well in the house. Brittany Murphy's death. Okay. So I read something saying that Brittany had or has, what's the word? Like psychic abilities or whatever. And that the energies that she felt that were aggressive and fighting were Brittany and Simon, her husband. But like, are you following me on this?
No, there's too many fucking Britneys in this story.
Britneys.
So let's just call them Spears and Murphy.
Okay.
Attorneys at law.
So they're claiming that Spears has psychic abilities because
oh my God. So
she foresaw the spirits were actually the spirits of Simon and Brittany fighting it.
That is such a load of shit.
I know, right? It just made me laugh.
Oh my God. And here's the reason we're having this conversation is because today,
yes,
if this drops on time, we'll say today, HBO Max has I believe it's a two-part documentary or docuseries. I don't even know what to call them anymore. But it's called What Happened, Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
And all of these things that we're talking about should be discussed in that. And hopefully on the next episode we could do a recap of it.
I want to watch it.
But to think that Britney Spears is so in tune with the spirit world that she not only she saw spirits of people that were not dead that would eventually live there and perish in that house.
It was a premonition.
Fighting.
It was a premonition. That's what they were claiming. You feel me?
No, I don't fucking feel you. No, this is
Omar doesn't buy the story.
This is ridiculous.
I know, it really is. I just thought that was hilarious because I came across that and I was like, wow, they're really pushing it here.
And right now I'm super susceptible to spooky things because it's October. But even that I
only this month
cannot abide.
Yeah, that was just something I had read that I thought was hilarious. But I'm super excited about this documentary because I was a really big fan of Brittany Murphy and I was super, super sad when I found out that she died because I don't know, like the way that they talk about her, even in the trailer, she came across exactly how her friends and family speak of her. Mm-hmm. She seemed like such a sweet, kind-hearted, bubbly girl. And she got swallowed up by Hollywood and unfortunately got with a man that didn't have her best interests at hand. This guy was a lunatic, like crazy. The lies that he would create. I mean, they'll get into it in the documentary, I'm sure, if you guys end up watching it. But it's a really sad story. And so I'm really curious to see all that, if there's anything I don't know already, because I've done my research.
That's right.
I know everything about this murder. I could write this.
Just told you the entire documentary and we haven't even seen it. So don't even watch the shit because what's the point?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's that time.
It's that time again. So long, my friends. Guys, don't forget, we got 2 promo codes floating out there. We got one for Wild Grain, Nadia Moham Official. Again, Wild Grain is the subscription box where they deliver you artisanal desserts and pastas and breads, all fresh to bake. Fresh to bake? Frozen to bake.
Bake from frozen.
Bake from frozen. I'm going to get it right one day. Anyways, excellent bread. Really, really clean ingredients. Just really delicious stuff there. So if you guys want to try that, it's Nadia Moham Official. $10 off your first box. And of course, we have the Nug Club. The promo code for that is We Ever Baby 20. And that is, I keep messing this up. Is this $20 off or 20%?
It's $20
$20 off.
The first box that you subscribe to.
Okay.
Okay. So it basically ends up being somewhere in the 80s. And what is this dance you're doing? Nadia's trying to communicate with me.
Because I'm trying to make it fast and he's about to be like, so what comes in the box?
Jesus.
I could just feel the long description.
We have all the time in the world for you to figure out. For you to figure out bread names. See what I'm dealing with?
I spit that out so fast. Come on.
I would have been done twice without all of this.
Anyways. Get your weed at Nut Club.
Definitely go to nutclub.com, sign up. We Everywhere Baby 20 for that, $20 off.
Yep.
And that is going to be it for us. We are going to go rolling with the homies.
Aww.
I know, right?
R.I.P. Poor girl.
All right, guys. As always, I am O Marvelous. You can find me on Instagram, OMRVLZ. Nadia Moham
Official and We Everywhere Baby podcast. And guys, don't forget to leave us a lovely review and 5 stars or 4. Hopefully not 3 or 2 or 1.
And keep those recommendations coming. We have some that we have to check out. People are telling us about Maid.
Yes, so Maid is on my list.
Watch some Maids.
My mom was also telling me about Maid, but she damn near told me the whole thing.
Is it going to be hot?
No, it's not a sexy show. It's far from it. It's about some broke girl.
Literally everybody's like, you gotta watch Maid. It's the most depressing shit you'll ever. I'm like, oh, okay.
But I just hear it's made really, really well.
I wish I was.
You know, I didn't even mean to make that joke. Kind of mad about it. I should have just claimed it. That was a good one.
Okay, I swear to God, we're leaving. Bye.
Bye.
We everywhere, baby.